So, let's talk about some Nintendo Directs. For those that are tuning in and expecting a video on Discord for the all 11 people that watched my last video, I'm not going to do that this week. This has been bouncing around in my head since yesterday, and I just need to get off my chest. For those who don't know, Nintendo Directs are essentially a show that just gets their fan base excited for all the things that are coming out on their systems. As a Nintendo fan, I'm going to be honest, these are like Christmas to us. They're super exciting. Everyone is kind of hoping for a bunch of different things. A lot of people are hoping for a new Smash character. Some people are hoping a new update for Animal Crossing, or a new Mario update, or the new Breath of the Wild. Some people are looking for games that are absolutely never going to come out. But regardless, Nintendo Directs have kind of turned into this like community building thing where we're all really, really excited for. And in the last year, they've sucked. Well, they haven't sucked. It's just I feel that Nintendo is not lost with what they're doing. It's just they're like kind of just throwing what they can right now. The last big direct we had was actually last year in September, which it wasn't the best Nintendo Direct, but it's at least a direct, man. We had a bunch of new information to look forward to and stuff that they already told us that we were now getting excited for that season. I think it was Luigi's Mansion, Link's Awakening, Tokyo Mirage Session, a couple big games that I know I personally was excited for, and there was a couple other things. There was like Trials of Mana and a couple indie games they announced. I feel like I'm missing something. Hold on. Oh, they also announced that they're going to remake Xenoblade Chronicles, the one with Shulk. Oh, and Super Nintendo games were now coming to NSO, or Nintendo Switch Online, which that should be its own video in its own right. But since then, we're now coming up on a year. In fact, when this video goes up, there's only going to be 6 days before a full year since a mainstream Nintendo Direct. Now, what is going on? A lot of theories have been going around, so here's what I think is what's really happening. As you may know, coronavirus is happening. The whole COVID-19 has been been an issue. It's affected a lot of companies, and Nintendo is no different from any other company. They had to like slow down or completely halt production of many things. This without a doubt has to be one of the main reasons a lot of stuff has happened. In fact, pretty much every direct since has had some form of them saying, hey, shit's going on, you gotta deal with it. Now, Nintendo did have a pretty good start to the year. I know I bought Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which was a port, but it was something that I was really excited for. I never got it on the Wii U, but I have the Switch, so I was ready to get on that. And also, they were kind of banking most of their early sales in the year on Animal Crossing. And I think they did a pretty decent job. Of course, there's always the excitement for a new Smash Brothers character, and pretty much the games I just mentioned were working towards at least to the middle of the year. The issue we're having now is we are only a few months away towards Christmas, and we know nothing. I say nothing, that's not exactly true. We do know a couple of things, mainly because of let me take it back. We have DLC. Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and Smash Brothers pretty much has been the only thing in stone that we have that's to look forward to for this holiday. There have been quite a few third-party games announced, but we'll talk about that in a second. First off, let's talk about what we have is called a Nintendo Direct Mini, which I guess is the closest thing we've had to a real Direct, but this wasn't a Direct, and you can tell. This essentially was to give a release date for the Xenoblade Chronicles remake, the one with Shulk. They also gave a teaser of the new Smash Brothers character, and honestly, thinking back of what else was in that Direct, it was kind of lackluster. Like, I think the only other big thing is I think we got like a Catherine port and that Clubhouse Games. That was pretty big. Like, but the fact that a bunch of party games was a big deal, I think is a good way to prove that they're just struggling, man. They did announce Bravely Default 2, which I know many people are excited for, but once again, we don't even have a release date for that. That could be pushed back till next year, and that's probably the biggest problem with this mini Direct. It was extremely vague, and you could tell they just threw whatever they had. And the reason I said this was just thrown together was an announcement of a game that just pretty much dropped out of nowhere. Paper Mario, the Origami King, which in my opinion, the Paper Mario series is a huge franchise. I would argue it's up there with, like, if not higher than stuff like Star Fox or even the Metroid series, you know what I mean? And they just dropped a random tweet, man. It was a random tweet. I don't understand why they just didn't put the game trailer with the mini direct. In fact, you could have just got rid of the word mini. They could have just named that mini direct a direct if they just put Paper Mario as the final announcement. Boom, direct. Get rid of the word mini. Done. And it's I don't know. This has always bothered me that they just put a random tweet out. They're just randomly announcing things on Twitter instead of giving us like a thing to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like, I get excited for directs. Like, I love the fact that people sit down and will stream directs. Like, I will sit and watch every single one of my favorite YouTubers' reactions to watching these. And I don't want to see small videos of someone watching a reaction of a random Twitter clip. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong or, like, in the wrong side of this argument. That's just my own opinion. I feel like they did Paper Mario wrong. That's just me. Since then, they have done 2 different types of direct, and they've called them partner showcases. Now, before I go any further, at one of their investors' meetings, they even mentioned, here, let me look up the exact wording. Furukawa straight up said, woke, "We think the Nintendo Direct format is handy for us, but as times change, the most effective way of sending information can also vary. So I think we should always be looking for the best way of communicating." When I saw that quote, not everyone commented on it. I just thought more people would talk about this, and I think they're wrong. How can you say that? I just think having Nintendo Directs is good for the gaming community. I'm not going to speak for the entire Nintendo community because some of us are just toxic and bad. Not the most toxic, but not like these guys. But there are some people that just want to fight and say some horrible things. I've definitely made some comments that I disagreed with what they did, but I crap on the things I love. You're allowed to do that. I don't have any malicious intent, but I'm going to be honest. I think they're wrong here. They just changed too many things this year. I think they need to take a step back and just look back at what was working and stick with it. Now, like I was saying, they've dropped 2 different types of media, which is their partner showcases. The first one, it was bad. I think they announced 5 games. One of them was gameplay of what we already saw for Shin Megami Tensei. We knew that game was coming out. I think there was a wrestling game, and there was an update for Cadence of Hyrule. Yay! After having such a drought of no information from Nintendo, we were like, yay, anything is good, and then we get it, and then everyone just blew up the internet and said they were not happy. And it's because it was a partner showcase. We're waiting for like Nintendo announcements. You know, I mean, we're waiting for Nintendo IPs. This goes back to what Furukawa said. He said that they're always looking for the best ways to communicate, and for all we know, they're doing separate like partner showcases, and then they're gonna have a very own only Nintendo IP. But I like the long ones. I don't know. The fact that there was no E3 this year kind of ruined everything. I'm just gonna say it. We did get something that was kind of a breath of fresh air, as we got one of our Nintendo Indie Directs. Now, these have always been kind of on the fence for me, but this last one really kind of killed it, man. Like, every single indie game that was announced in this direct, I kind of want to buy. Like, I don't know what it was about this one compared to some of the other ones, but I feel like they did a really good job stacking and editing this video together to make people excited to play an indie game. Spiritfarer, by the way, if you haven't tried it, beautiful game. Love it. 2 weeks later, we got another partner direct, and that happened, a day ago, and I'm going to be honest, it's some donkey dick. It's horrible. Like, every single one of those announcements could have been a tweet. Like, they won't give us an announcement about Paper Mario, but they're going to give us a full showcase of stuff that I expect to be tweets. I have had this argument with Josh on 32-Bit Arena so many times, how, like, people don't know what's important and what's not important to put in a big announcement and what to tweet. Not things that affect your company. I don't know. To the way they did Paper Mario is still bothering me. In the most recent direct, there were a few small things that were entertaining. There was that new like rhythm Final Fantasy game. There's that Taiko no Taiyatsu. Did I say that right? Probably not. The Final Fantasy Legend Saga, and then there was another big one. Oh yeah, Puyo Puyo Tetris. Honestly, that's probably, as right now, one of the biggest announcements that's happened with Nintendo in the last 5 months was Puyo Puyo Tetris. That's where we're at right now, is Puyo Puyo Tetris. Not that that's a bad game. It's a great game. But there's just been nothing exciting. You know what I mean? Now, of course, we had the Super Mario Maker announcement, the Super Smash Brothers announcement, Pokemon updates. We've had a bunch of DLC announcements, but DLC are not new games. Now, I'm sure everyone and their mother has watched a video about how there's apparently like a 3D Mario collection coming out. Christmas is a quarter of the year away, all right? So we're a quarter away. So you're going to give 3 months to announce a game? Like Call of Duty just dropped theirs. I know Call of Duty is going to sell like hotcakes like it always does, but at least they announced a good 4 months ahead of time. What's Nintendo doing? This year they're literally riding the sales of Pokemon DLC, Smash DLC, and I think it's the only DLC that you buy, right? Yeah, and a bunch of third parties, a bunch of indies, and I guess a Mario collection if it ever gets announced. I'm not going to be the person that just craps on Nintendo. I love them. They're one of my favorite franchises, but you can clearly see that there's other stuff going on. Like, and if there is a lot of more stuff, I know they have that announcement. I'll show it again. I know they have that announcement, but at the bare minimum, man, just be honest with us. Like, listen, it's going to be a rough year. We have a lot of things to look forward to next year. Bear with us. Just do something like that. What they did with the Metroid game announcement was perfect. Listen, we're not happy with where it's at right now. We're starting over from fresh. We're doing this all over again. Why don't they just do that with whatever else is going on? Like, listen, guys, it's going to be a rough year. Please play these games. These are the DLC games we're working forward to. These are the few indie games we recommend. We're going to have a great 2021. But right now, this is a building year. Everyone knows that this is a console generation drop. Nintendo would have been struggling against that to begin with. Just give us something, man. An announcement that we're struggling, an announcement that we are having this Mario collection, just something. I just feel so in the dark with one of my favorite companies, and it's like I keep on going to the Xbox store. I keep on logging on to Xbox more than I've logged on to my Switch lately because I love just going through the store to find a new game. There's nothing on the eShop that I don't own already. I don't know, man. Maybe I sound like a broken record at this point, but that's the video for the week, man. I may, depending how well this does, I may talk some more. I don't know, but I don't know. It just stresses me out. Let me know in the comments below if all this stuff bothers you. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me. Are you frustrated with everything? Like, I love this company. I'm not going to give up on this company. I just want to know what's going on. Anyways, you can always follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, SoundCloud. I think that's it. I'm Phil, and of course, I'll see you guys later.